We bought this Thor 25V a couple months ago. It's a real nice rig. Hopefully we'll have I'll have a tour here shortly, but what I'm doing right now is upgrading the electrical. The two battle borns are in the process of being installed. I'm waiting on some equipment to finish out the cables. So right now I'm looking about how do I run the AC wire. I've already done some pre-work on this. Taking off the back panel back here, and transfer box is right there. I'm going to mount a junction box right here, and then we'll be running a wire behind all this equipment, behind the kitchen, and the inverter is going to be right outside, right there. They're actually being, the coach is being run on 12-volt batteries, and it's early morning, but the solar system's charging them. Why? It was rainy yesterday, so there wasn't much work I could do outside, so all my time was inside. What I am doing is running the AC, spliced in the wire from the transfer switch to this, what will be eventually a breaker box. Would have been completed yesterday if Amazon had sent me the right breaker. I ordered a 30 amp. They sent me a 2.5. I'm glad I discovered it before I installed it. Could have been a fire. So right now I'm waiting on a replacement for 30 amp breaker. But meantime, I've ran the wire. There's two wires. One comes into the bay. We'll go down there in a second. Goes from the transfer switch down into the bay, through the inverter, and back up. That's why you see two yellow-orange wires. Two orange wires, 30 amp each. And that one comes back to the distribution box. I have unwired the old transformer charger. Have taken the old one apart so it's deactivated, and rewired in the new 30 amp circuit. So here's one of the wires, 30 amp. There's other ones down in there. I've also, on the Xantrex Freedom 2000, I installed the remote panel back here in the back. And what I'm planning to do today, even though I don't have AC, I remembered I could run the coach on AC via battery. So what I'm planning to do today, install the inverter here. Here's the COM cable for the Xantrex. This cable here is a little state of charge monitor, and here's the two AC wires. Took a tip from another installer and put the black wire on the one going to the transfer switch. So this is into the inverter, and this other one is the out. So I've got plenty of extra here, so service sleep will be good. And I'll go take you inside the shop, show you the inverter. So here's the Xantrex inverter mounted onto just a tray. Since that's a large bay, I want to use it for other things. I did put a perforated plate here so it could still ventilate. I do have half set up the a 250 amp relay cutoff switch, and I am using 2/0 wire. All I need to do now is cut these to length and install the tray into the bay and hook up the wires, and I will be able to test the inverter without the AC breaker being available. Okay, here's an example. Here's the two holes I was referring to. Use that spade bit, put them right next to each other. Next thing I'm going to do is clean up the segment between the two holes. Not quite make it flat. Leave a little ridge there for separation, a little bit of separation, but then I'll pass it through and get that measurement on the length and then cut the cables accordingly. Going to get a final measurement of the, I think 4 feet is long enough, but measure twice, cut once. I've already gone under the RV. Already gone under RV to measure the distance between the connectors and the wall of this bay. The most critical measurement, like after that, is the distance between the hole and the connectors. So let me add that to 2 feet. So 16 inches. The positive is a little shorter because I've already got a part of it in here, but the negative needs to be another 16 inches. So that would be 3 feet 4 inches, making it 4 feet. Will give me a little service loop. So that's what the plan is. 4 feet to the lug, and 4 feet is right there. Just place that on there. 2-aught. Look how clean that is. I just use a regular old utility knife when I do. Just kind of dry fit it. What you like to do, you don't want a lot of, you like wires to be fully entered, but you don't want a lot of external exposure. You're also going to use some shrink wrap to electrically secure this. Protected. Comes off pretty easily. This is what I was talking about. What you want to do, just place that in there. Then you crimp that using this tool. Crimp it using this tool. Let me give a demonstration here. What I do first, I place the crimping tool, the lug into the crimping tool, and pre-stage this. I guess it doesn't matter which direction you go. I usually go like this. It's worth lubing your little threads to make this go a little easier. I did that a couple days ago when I first started the effort. Got enough to hold it. Something else I do, I try to keep the same orientation. See the flat sides on this, so I will try my best. With this long of a length, it probably works fine if you twist it because it's enough to give. But you can see it's fully seated. I might actually push it down, and then I just start clamping this, running the clamp. Go. I suspect that's good enough. You can see that's actually well deformed, but what I do, I just pound it a few times with a hammer just to ensure. That's what we're going to do next. Just do this on the floor, because it's the most stable surface I have. And I just hit it a few times. If it comes, rarely, if it actually comes loose like it did, that's the first time that's happened, it actually fits back in place, it locks into place pretty well. So we'll give it another hit here. A couple of very solid hits. You can see. And that's not going to go anywhere. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put on the shrink wrap. This is marine. Well, they call it marine maybe. But what I like about it, it's actually got an adhesive, a thermal activated adhesive. And once you shrink it down, the adhesive actually oozes out, so there's a little better bonding. And that's what we're going to do next. Just need a heated gun, the same knife, and a heat tube. What you want to do, you want to cover as much as you can, but without interfering with the attachment. So you like the heat wrap to go right here and go up an inch or so. So I'll just kind of, and it shrinks, so you cut it a little large, a little long, and there you go. What I do is I will start shrinking it here, lock that down, so the shrinkage will actually happen at this end. So here we go. Okay, shrunk down at the tip. Now I'm just going to start uniformly. Okay, that's all there is. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can get it. There's a little shiny part. That is the thermally activated glue. That's an extra layer of bonding. It also makes it moisture, another moisture barrier. There you go. Right here. Boy, that makes a good coat. So I've got a couple of feet on both of them. Here's something I discovered. It's a safety thing. I don't know if this is against regulations or code, but I was working on the old battery and removing it, and this chafing cover would go all the way down to the end here, and I could not even tell if I was working with a positive and negative. Twice I was working with what I thought was a negative, and because the colors were obscured, I actually put it on the wrong post and arcing twice, but they were very, very quick events, so nothing happened. But so what I did here, this will be not in, the reason for this I believe is just for extra protection. This is an area that will not be chafed, but be visually easy to identify what this is. So I'm going to do this with both ends, so I can always know what is positive and what is negative, and hopefully avoid that safety issue. Because if you, these lithium-ion batteries, two of them, this hundreds of amps could go through there. I could actually build a little welder without a problem, and I don't want to find out what would happen if I did that. Okay, I'm going to go off and finish working this. Okay, these go on the battery bank. These two go on the inverter charger. All I need to do is put some tape on here, like I did here, to secure this so it doesn't unravel. And I will be ready to start the installation. Okay, so for safety reasons I have to disconnect the negatives before I start playing with the positive, because once I start using wrenches on there, inevitably my wrench is going to touch the body and the negative, and that's going to be a big spark. But really, I'm not going to disconnect it here. can see back there is actually a shunt, and actually that's what, if I disconnect it back there, that's why it actually goes to the body, and I should be good. But let's see where the, oh, already got 2 amp hours. Here in Arizona it's nice and sunny. 2 and almost 3 amps coming in. There, yeah. So, okay, I guess I'm ready. Well, I believe I can run a non-AC test. Non-AC test. Let's make sure the panel's off. Okay, that's off. We're going to control it outside. One last inspection of the batteries. Okay. Put a little piece of masking tape just to prevent some accidental touching while I was assembling things to name problems. Back on the solar system, I took it off. Making about 5 amps. Why is that not focusing? 5 amps.
Something about maybe some chicken burritos or...
Okay, so this is the switch. And here I'm going to turn it on. Click. Well, hopefully produce an AC. Microwave is not on yet. I don't know if there's a delay. Volts. Let's see. Charge. Okay. Well, I thought I knew what this meant, but I'm not sure. Okay. There you go. I am now producing AC. Let me check that. Microwave, I'm getting, oh, nope, nothing in the microwave. Expected this getting AC. Oh, do I have the, oh, I got the breaker off. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm still, okay, I'm going to figure out what's going on. Okay, I discovered what the problem is. Although I don't have AC from shore, the breaker, I still need to attach the AC wiring. So there's the problem. Anyway, let me work on that. Okay, here we are, trying it again. AC is now attached. Here we are, we're gonna actually, now we'll start up here. There you go. Oh, you turn on the fuse. Okay, here we go. Lights on. Here, click. Okay, let me check here. Whoa, there we go. There's my AC indicator. 2 yellow lights means correct. And okay, AC is on. Getting AC. It's a microwave. Let's see. 120. Whoops. 120, 60 amps. Let's see what we have here. 13.4. Okay. If Amazon had sent me the right breaker, installation would be completely done. I could use the engine to put a little more juice in the battery. I might do that. But right now, it's as much as I can do. Very good. Here's the final installation of the inverter charger. 2 kilowatt Xantrex Freedom XC. Actually bolted down 4 bolts. Attaches to the bottom of the cavity here. But you can... The next test is actually run the microwave. I think I'm going to do that pretty soon here. Stand by. Okay, we have 22%. This is not even calibrated, so I really don't know how much. But I have placed in 21 amp hours. Why is that not showing up? 21 amp hours of power from solar, and I also had the engine on for a little bit, so a little bit more in there. It's going to be enough to do a microwave test. First, let's turn on the inverter. There we go. Guess there's a delay. I need to look that up. Okay. Let's check the microwave. Have lights. So here's the test. A glass of water. And I'll tell you what, we just put it on for 5 seconds, right? Start. Okay. It worked. And let's see how much this is. Let's see. Oh wow. It says 1350 watts. So I just pulled 1350 out of the batteries for 5 seconds. Seemed to work fine. So far so good. Okay, today we're going to do a stress test of the inverter system. We did bring the Instapot in a few days ago and it was able to cook a meal, but it's only 1,000 watts. So this is a 2,000 watt system, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to run a microwave at 1350, and then I'm going to use this variable heat gun, and I'm going to ramp it up until it hits 2,000. Hopefully, if everything works well, it's not going to trip before 2,000. So here we go. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to put the microwave on for, let's put it on for 2 minutes. Let me get the heat gun ready. 2 minutes, go. 1.4 kilowatts, and here we'll turn on the heater here. 1.9. Raise it just a tad. 2 kilowatts, no problem. Okay. Running at 2 kilowatts. Stress test is successful. Alright. Well, I'm glad. I hate to have to pull that out and send it back to the manufacturer, Xantrex. But you saw 2,000. I could have taken it up all the way to failure, but I didn't care to do that. I just want to make sure that it was able to get to 2,000 and stayed at 2,000 for a while. I'm happy with the results.